Welcome back to the show, everybody. Check out these headlines. The SEC versus Ripple, and they want $2 billion as a fine. Well, we're going to hear from Stuart Alderati, Brad Garlinghouse, and many other lawyers in this space about exactly what to expect. Somebody roll that beautiful intro.
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show. You can follow us on Twitter and YouTube and digperspectives.com for exclusive content. Right now, it's $2.8 trillion market cap. The market is for crypto is up 4.8% in the last 24. 70,300 plus for Bitcoin right now. Hello. And 3,600 plus for Ethereum. 103.5 billion plus for Tether market cap. 63 cents for XRP, and it's up 1.1 on the 24-hour and 7% on the 7-day. And just moments ago, it was up 8% on the 8.1 on the 7-day at 64 cents. And it is 64 cents actually, and it just slipped just under right now. So we'll keep an eye on it. But as high as 66 cents overnight. So we'll keep an eye on that. But I do want to tell you, we're down to 37 days and 14 hours. Yeah, get your ticket to XRP Las Vegas. I'm going to tell you, this is going to be a remarkable time. And by the way, get your room discount because that discount is going to end very soon. So make sure you get your discount at MGM Grand. Stay right on site. They got the best restaurants, the best entertainment, you name it. Walk right to the conference from your room. It's going to be incredible. So make sure you do that and get that dinner and have private dinner with Brad Garlinghouse and support the Digital Chamber of Commerce all in one fell swoop. So don't miss it. By the way, breaking news, John Deaton running for Senate, as we know. He needs our help. If you're able to give anything, $10, $20, whatever you can do, let's help him get the money he needs to unseat Elizabeth Warren and stop the crypto ban that she's trying to put into place. And let's get this other piece of good news. Breaking news right here yesterday afternoon. Greg Kidd, formerly of Ripple, now running for Senate in Nevada's 2nd District, is going to be on stage at XRP Las Vegas, baby. Greg Kidd, a brilliant mind, seed investor in Twitter and many other projects. Early guy, executive at Ripple, former Federal Reserve official. This guy, I'm telling you, this is going to be an incredible time on stage. And he's going to be on stage with us, and we're super excited to have him. And listen, we need to support the John Deatons and the Greg Kidds that are going to get into this fight on Capitol Hill and represent our voice. So make sure you get your ticket and come to this conference. I'm telling you, this is going to be remarkable. Let's take a look at this. On Monday's Ripple top legal executive Stuart Alderati disclosed that the Securities Exchange Commission is pursuing a massive $2 billion in fines and penalties against Ripple Labs. Here's the actual filing itself. Shout out to James Filan here. Motions for remedies and entry of final judgment. Its memorandum of law in support of that motion and its proposed judgment, looking for the $2 billion in fines and penalties here. Well, let's go through the cycle. First, Stuart Alderati says, as you will see when the SEC's brief is made public tomorrow, they asked the judge for $2 billion in fines and penalties. He goes on to say, our response will be filed next month. But as well as we have all seen time, and again, this is a regulator that trades in statements that are false, mischaracterized, and designed to mislead. They stayed true to form here. Rather than faithfully apply the law, the SEC remains bent on wanting to punish and intimidate Ripple and the industry at large. We trust the court will approach the remedies phase fairly, and I do too, because Judge Torres got it right the first time around. So let's hear from Brad Garlinghouse here. Says the SEC plans to ask the judge for $2 billion in a case that involved no allegations, let alone findings of fraud or recklessness. There is absolutely no precedent for this. We will continue to expose the SEC for what they are when we respond to this. Wonderful, wonderful. And I say the SEC really is an agency that doesn't embarrass very easily. The SEC asking for $2 billion in fines in the Ripple case is akin to a bank robber, the SEC, caught in the bank and surrounded by cops, but somehow have the unmitigated gall to demand a helicopter pilot with a duffel bag full of cash and unmarked bills to meet them on the roof. I guess it's not enough to smear a good company's people's names and reputation through the mud like Chris Larson, Brad Garlinghouse, and Ripple themselves as a company. But guess what, SEC? It's not going to happen. Not going to happen. Brad Garlinghouse further adds here, Gary Gensler's SEC has repeatedly acted outside the law, not going unnoticed by judges admonishing in the agency for gross abuse of power entrusted to it by Congress, debt box case, and for acting without faithful allegiance to the law, Ripple case. Let's not also forget Gensler's lack of attention to Sam Bankman fraud. How about that one? That's a nice one. Go Brad Garlinghouse. Chris Larson chimes in. Gensler's SEC has become unhinged. This will not and should not go unnoticed in an election year, as the SEC single-handedly thinks it's above the law, dragging the U.S. further behind other G20 countries. This is exactly on point. All of this, every bit of this, and so is this. Shout out to Fred Rispoli. I think he's coming to XRP Las Vegas too. This guy's a lot of fun and super smart. The SEC's motion for judgment has been publicly filed. Too long didn't read. The SEC is following the playbook I outlined 2 months ago, but let's go through it here. Legally, not much in here that we didn't already guess. Factually, this is very important motion. I'll take it from what I think is the most important least to least. First, credit to SEC. It realized that it needs to show how investors were actually harmed. And then it goes on to say here, have already said the SEC's motion is full of mischaracterizations. Let's hope that it is correct, because the picture painted is not a good look for Ripple and lends credence to the XRP haters on why the price is so low, namely the deep discounts by Ripple on XRP sales. On page 18, numbers are redacted, but if discounts are wide enough, then institutional buyers like GSR scored unbelievable discounts and have bags upon bags of XRP that they could continually sell at astronomical profit. If accurate, retail buyers continue to be the liquidity. I really, really hope Ripple has a good explanation for this, because otherwise it plays right into the major FUD happening right now. Second, Ripple is continually selling XRP post-complaint and post-summary judgment, no surprise, but the SEC claims the financial discovery it received by court order demonstrate this is by far and away Ripple's primary source of revenue. And Ripple is still signing contracts with institutional buyers, 80 contracts since the complaint and significant number since the summary judgment ruling, which is good for Ripple. Third, the motion will determine where ODL falls on whether unlawful sales or permitted sale. Stakes are very high here, and we have to hope Ripple has sufficiently changed its business practices to account for Torres's ruling. Fourth, I thought Ripple was in the low 40s or so, high 30s in billions of XRP, but it has more, like 45.77 billion XRP. Fifth, the SEC relies on library.com a lot, that case, but their amount sought by the SEC ended up being a small fraction of what the SEC was granted at the same time it ended Library as a company. Bottom line, this motion is of enormous consequence, and the pettiness of the SEC leads me to speculate on the two options on how this ends. One, the amount ordered by the court is low enough and rulings on newly structured sales favorable enough to Ripple that there is a final settlement after the ruling. I'm now putting this at 40% odds. More likely is this will come out of favorable to Ripple on the amount of money owed, but that Ripple takes a hit on what is allowed going forward, meaning this is going to an appeal to the Second Circuit Court. So we shall see how this goes. So now, with that being said, let's hear here. this is a clip out of the complaint, and it says, what's left unsaid by the SEC is that they were originally arguing that XRP is inherently a security. The judge ruled it's the offering that makes a security. Now the SEC is emphasizing the sale makes the security, but blaming Ripple for celebrating what, in context, was a huge win. So, look, the SEC's trying to move the goalpost after the game is in the fourth quarter. That's what the argument is. Jeremy Hogan follows it up here. Shout out to him. He's going to be at XRP Las Vegas virtual appearance, I should say. Summary of SEC's Remedies brief. How dare Ripple not grovel before us instead of addressing some very real legal issues? It came across as petty and vindictive, punctuated by ex post as evidence. It had an opportunity to take the lead on some legal issues and didn't, in my opinion, he says. And here, I want to show you exactly what he's talking about here. Here's evidence that was submitted by the SEC of Brad Garlinghouse when he surprised everyone at the XRP Las Vegas for our, the first ever independent individual XRP Las Vegas. He decided to show up and shake a few hands and take pictures, and they're trying to submit this as evidence. It's absolutely petty and vindictive. We know already what the dealio is, and I can't wait for this case to be over, because if anyone's been petty or vindictive, it is the SEC, and it's not just towards Ripple, it's towards this entire space. Look, right now we're going into the freedom zone, and we're going to deal with central bank digital currencies and the very real dark side of how that can create massive control for a lot of bad actors. And I hope you will join us. We're almost next to nothing. Go to digitalperspectives.com or the link underneath this video and click the Freedom Zone and come on in. Not financial advice from me or anyone else. I'll catch all of you on the next one.